Hello, dear friends. We have in this chapter up to now studied different topics related to work and energy. If we consider and if we remember that in the initial stage of this chapter, we have defined the notation of work and kinetic energy comparison, that is called work energy theorem. We define that work is a scalar quantity and that force into displacement is defining the work. Then we compare it with kinetic energy and convert that work is a second form of energy. Then we discuss in this chapter about the variable and invariable force. So we say that work done by a variable force, and also for this type of force we considered a work energy theorem. Then we derive another energy, that is called potential energy, and then we derive that information regarding conservation of mechanical energy, that is called total energy, that is the combination of kinetic energy and potential energy. Then as a special case we discuss the potential energy of a spring, and in the last session we discussed that various forms of energy and the law of conservation of energy. Now we are about the ending of this chapter, and in just 2 sessions or 3 sessions we will complete the theory of this chapter. Now what is today's topic? So today we are going to talk about the chapter's third topic. The name of the chapter is work, energy and power. So we have discussed many things about work and energy up to now, but today we are going to discuss about power. So first of all, the question arises that what the power term means, because many times it is interesting to know that not only the work done on an object but also the rate at which this work is done. We say that a person is physically fit if he not only climbs 4 floors of a building but also climbs it fast. In a same manner, suppose we know the terminology of power is defined as work upon time. In general, it can be stated that power is defined as the time rate at which work is done or energy is transferred. So we can simply consider a arrangement that suppose one person is given a task to climb the hilltop, and that person start walking or using his ability of walking and climbs this hill, suppose in 1 hour, while the another person with same age or same dimensions of the person, that means height may be the same, the weight may be the same. In that manner, if the person, that is another person, is also moving the same hill towards the same hill, and suppose he takes 45 minutes to climb it, then we consider that the power of the second person is more than the first person. So here the term power is generally not only the work but how fast the work is completed can be considered. So now the average power that we are going to derive here. So the term average power is the force. Power is written as this capital P. The average power of a force is defined as the ratio of work to the total time taken. So power average is work upon total time taken. So this is the basic definition of power. It can also have some instantaneous value. So obviously the instantaneous power is defined as a limiting value of the average power as time interval approaches 0. So in the same manner, if we consider that this is in a general, we can write it delta P is equals to delta W upon delta T. Now if we say that if limit delta T tends to 0, then we can say this term, that is delta W upon delta T, converted into dW upon dt, and this is nothing but called instantaneous power. So that instantaneous power is written as P instantaneous is equals to limit delta T tends to 0 with dW upon delta W upon delta T. So when we put this condition, we can say that P instantaneous or only P is equals to dW upon dt. So this is called the instantaneous power. Now we can also derive the equation of power in term of force. This is also an interesting part. Here we can consider that suppose we are given the total work done dW by a force F for a displacement dr, that is we consider that dW is work done by force F, and during that we say that it performs a displacement small dr regarding the force. The instantaneous power can be expressed as, obviously as we have written in above equation number 1, that P is equals to dW upon dt, that is d by dt of F into dr. Now we can consider that if force is conservative and is a constant, then we can take it out from the equation, so the term of force is taken out, and here the term remains, that is dr over dt. But we know that the displacement upon time is velocity, and therefore it is written as F into v. So this is another formation for power equation, that is force into velocity. So that is dot product of force into the velocity is also called the power. So here we have two different terms for power. Here we can simply explain it in the manner, one as a dW upon dt, that is work upon time, that is very well usual and general definition. And here this is another definition, that is if object is act under the force capital F, and if it moves with velocity v due to that force, the power is equals to the dot product of force and velocity, that is F into v. Here v is instantaneous velocity and force is capital F. Now we also know that Like other quantities, that is work and energy, power is also a scalar quantity. So power is scalar. So another thing that we can understand regarding the power, that is it is a scalar quantity. Its dimension is simple. How to define the dimension or how to derive, that is work upon time. So work is force into displacement, that is m1 L2 and T minus 2, that is the dimensional formula for the work. Here the time is in denominator. So here when we derive this, we can have the equation of dimensional formula of power is, that is m1 L2 T minus 3. So this is dimensional formula of power. Now unit of power that we want to see. So here power is defined as work upon time. So the unit of power is joule per second. So it is joule per second, and it is also remembered and given and named after a James Watt, that is watt is also the unit. So joule per second or watt, WATT, or a capital W is also the unit of power. One of the innovators who also innovate that steam engine in the 18th century. Now another unit of power are called horsepower. Now that horsepower is another unit, that is horsepower 1 HP. It is written as 1 HP, and that 1 HP is equals to 746 watt. This unit is used to describe the output of automobiles or motorbikes, etc. Now we also have some misconception with this power term, that we encounter the unit watt when we buy electrical goods such as bulbs, heaters and refrigerators. We are given suppose a 100-watt bulb which is on for 10 hours uses 1 kilowatt hour energy. So here another term, that is 1 kilowatt hour. This is an interesting part for us that we want to derive, that is 1 kilowatt hour energy. This is another form of energy. So 1 kilowatt energy is how much joule? So we can say that 1 kilowatt. So obviously it is about the term that we can derive here, that is 1 kilowatt hour bulb or a 100-watt bulb which is on for 10 hours. So here we say that suppose I have a bulb of 100 watt, so I say that it is 100 watt and this bulb is on for 10 hours. So here it is on for 10 hours. Now this hours is converted for seconds, but before that we multiply it, so we get that 1000 watt hour, and 1000 has the abbreviation as a 1 kilo, so that is called 1 kilowatt hour. So it is also to be clear that 1 kilowatt hour is unit of energy. Now how much joule it will be? So let us try to derive it, that 1 kilowatt hour is how much joule. So for that Here we will use the term 1 kilowatt hour and we use it for our purpose, that is 1 kilowatt hour. Now we simply put all the terms, that is 1 kilowatt means 10 to the power 3 watt, and hour is there, that is 1 hour has 3600 seconds. So we can say that 1 hour has 3600 seconds and 1 kilowatt means 10 to the power 3 watts. Now when this converted into a simple form, we can say that this is equals to 3.6 into 10 to the power 6 watt into second. But watt into second is nothing but the joule. So that is 3.6 into 10 to the power 6 joules of energy is equals to 1 kilowatt hour. Now our electricity bill carry the energy consumption in unit of kilowatt hour, and not that kilowatt hour is a unit of energy and not the power. So 1 kilowatt hour is equals to 10 to the power 6 joule, and 1 kilowatt hour is a unit of energy and not the unit of power. So that is to be keep in mind when we are dealing with the term 1 kilowatt hour with our electricity related questions or electricity related bills payment. Illustration number 6.11, that is given on your page number 128 of chapter number 6. The information is given that an elevator can carry a maximum load of 1800 kilogram, which is including elevator plus passengers. So as shown in the figure, here I have shown that the box is actually as imagine as an elevator. Suppose it can carry a mass of 1800 kilogram. So the gravitational force act on it is in downward direction, that is mg, and if we take small g as a 10 for simplification, we can get 18,000 Newton, that is force acting on it in a downward direction. Now the question is that it is moving up with a constant speed of 2 meter per second, that is also shown in the figure, and at the same time it is written that the frictional force opposing the motion is 4000 Newton. So here the frictional force Ff is also in the direction towards the gravitational acceleration. So here both that gravitational force and frictional force are acting in the same direction because object or elevator is moving in upward direction. So we know that frictional force is generally opposing the motion, and therefore here it is also in the downward direction with 4000 Newton. So how much force that will act in a downward direction as a total, that is Fg plus F friction, and we can add them and get the answer, that is 22,000 Newton. So this is 22,000 Newton is the force that is acting on the elevator system. Now it is very clear that we are asked that to find out the power. So determine the minimum power delivered by the motor to the elevator in watts as well as in horsepower. So now first of all we have to get the power in terms of watt. What will be the term? That is power is equals to force into velocity. Here total force is 22,000 and velocity is given as a 2. So it will be 22 2s are 44,000 watt. Now we know that 3.6 into 10 raised to 6 joule is 1 kilowatt hour and 746 watt is 1 horsepower. So in horsepower, if suppose we have to derive, we can say that 1 horsepower is 746 watt, and therefore 44,000 watt is equals to how much horsepower. So just derive the term with 746. We can say that 44000 over 746. So it is about 59 horsepower. So we can say that the horsepower acting on the lift, that will be 59 horsepower. So that is regarding the term power.